Okay, friends, can we talk for a second? Y'all know the women that just look like they exist beautifully? Hair always laid, skin glowing, smelling like peace, money, and emotional stability. And everybody's like, she just woke up like that. No. She did. What she did was front load effort so that our daily life could feel effortless. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. Effortless is engineered. Looking like you're not trying, that takes systems. That takes planning. That takes doing the annoying, unsexy prep work before the week starts. And that philosophy, that's how I live. I've always told y'all to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I don't just preach it, I live it. Go back and check the receipts and the videos. I don't have the time to be doing the most every single day. But I do have the time to be intentional a few times a week. So I can move through life more clean, calm, confident, and unbothered. So today I'm breaking down those high maintenance hygiene habits, the ones that I rely on so that I can stay low maintenance. Not aesthetic fluff, not trends, strategic systems. If you want to simplify your routine in 2026 without looking like you gave up, stay right here. Sit down. I got a seat on the couch over here. If you're new around here, I'm Dr. Nina, a licensed clinical psychologist, full professor, a wife, a mama to my baby that I had at 40, and a woman who lost over 100 pounds in my 20s. And I lived in maintenance mode for nearly 2 decades, which means I don't do chaos. I do systems. And as someone who dealt with hidradenitis suppurativa heavily in my teens and 20s, a condition that taught me something very quickly, that basic hygiene works until your body chemistry changes. I had to learn how to work with my body instead of constantly reacting to it. But before we go any further, I need your help, but not that kind of help. Put your pocketbooks down and unhide them. I don't want it. Help me real quick so the algorithm knows that this is grown folk business. Drop this in the comments. I'll live life intentionally, or high maintenance on purpose. Now let's get into it.
Dr. Nina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
Habit number 1, weekly body maintenance appointments with yourself. This is where everything starts. High maintenance hygiene isn't about being extra. It's about not forcing your body to live in crisis mode. Bodies don't suddenly become messy. They become messy through accumulation, buildup, neglect, rushing. Oh, and our friend skipping. So once a week, I like to stop the accumulation. I treat my body like it has a standing appointment with who? Me. For me, it's usually Sunday evenings, and at least that day is a non-negotiable. This is when I remove everything that builds up quietly throughout the week. Dead skin, deodorant residue, sweat bacteria, hair product, and even friction damage. I exfoliate my entire body. You know why? Dead skin traps bacteria and odor. And I deep clean my scalp because buildup makes the hair look dirty faster. And it even contributes to odor around the neck and the hairline. I shave or wax, which is my choice. And that's so that hair doesn't have the chance to track odor and bacteria. And I moisturize intentionally. And that's so my skin barrier stays strong. This is preventative care. Skipping this doesn't save time, boo. It borrows stress from later in the week. And this is the psychological part that your girl gonna throw in there because most people miss it. When your body feels handled, your nervous system calms down. You stop scanning yourself for what's off. You stop feeling behind. That calm, that's low maintenance living. And side note, okay, every now and again when I walk past a mirror and I'm feeling how I feel and how I look and I'm enjoying myself and how I'm giving back to me, that helps the day be even better, even when it was a crummy, crappy day. I don't care who you are. If you look in the mirror, you feel good about yourself, not because you got the compliments, not just because someone told you look good, but because you believe it, baby, that whole day gets turned all the way up. Turn that frown upside down, okay? And you be feeling real good. Habit number 2, internal hygiene. Your body tells on you. Now we're going to talk about something nobody wants to hear. I know. Because you can have the cutest bathroom, the best products, the prettiest routine, and still look and smell off. Why though? Because your internal environment shows up on the outside. High maintenance women don't just manage their appearance. They manage regulation, movement. Movement is internal hygiene. Exercise improves circulation. It helps to move lymphatic fluids, which has no pump of its own. Hello. Helps your body to clear waste, lowers baseline cortisol, and improves insulin sensitivity. When lymph is stagnant, waste sits. When waste sits, inflammation increases. When inflammation increases, odor intensifies and skin quality declines. And that's why people who don't move regularly, they swell easily, they retain water, they feel heavy, and they smell sharper when they sweat. And look, you don't need extreme workouts. You need consistent circulation. When I move consistently, my skin clears, my digestion improves, my sweat smells milder, my body looks tighter. That's not aesthetics, that's physiology. And what about food? What you eat doesn't disappear after digestion. irritation. It leads through sweat, breath, pores, and even your skin oil. Highly processed foods, excess sugars, and even alcohol, they don't just affect weight. They affect the body odor chemistry, even inflammation and water retention. That's why somebody can shower and still smell sour or sharp. When I cleaned this up postpartum, my body odor changed. My bloating reduced, my skin tone evened out, and my clothes fit better. High maintenance eating is not about restriction. It's choosing inputs that don't create cleanup work later. And when we think about supplements, they're not magic, they're support. Chlorophyll supports internal detox pathways and even gut balance. Probiotics regulate the microbiome, which directly affects skin and odor. Magnesium reduces stress and improves sleep, which changes our sweat chemistry. Water helps to dilute waste, and it helps the body flush efficiently. This is why high maintenance women regulate internally. So the outside, it stays easy. Habit number 3 is strategic deodorant layering. Odor control is a system. Y'all, I've told you this before, but odor is not random. It's the interaction of things like bacteria, sweat, moisture, and even friction. So I never rely on one product. I layer with intention. Antiperspirant at night really works because then the sweat glands are less active. That allows aluminum salts to form proper plugs and reduce sweat at the source. Morning deodorant, on the other end, handles scent. Whole body deodorant helps to handle moisture zones, and that's especially the ones most people ignore. This system is best because it addresses causes and environment, not just the smell. Okay, because we got to go deeper than that. The payoff though, I don't think about my body during the day like that. I don't have to check myself all the time, even in this pre-perimenopausal point. And I don't reapply obsessively. Mental quiet is low maintenance luxury. Habit number 4 is maintenance mode. You have to stop waiting for problems, friend. Reactive hygiene keeps you anxious. You're always waiting for odor, irritation, flare-ups, and embarrassment. But maintenance mode, that removes anticipation. I manage bacteria and pH before problems show up. Bacteria thrive when the skin environment favors it. So I like to make my environment hostile because we bout it over here. So high maintenance hygiene means that bacteria never has the chance to get comfortable. Issues don't escalate and you stay calm. Calm people aren't lucky, they're preventative. Habit number 5 is all about rotating signature scents. Let's talk about the part about hygiene that most people misunderstand. Fragrance. And I want to thank Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. I treat fragrance as the final step in hygiene, not something to cover up the problems, because how you ever gonna really know what you putting on and how it smell if you're trying to always cover up smells. But here's something most people don't know. Wearing the same fragrance every day can lead to nose blindness, where your brain literally stops registering your own scent. So you either overspray or you think you smell amazing and really nobody smells anything. I rotate my scents based on my life. Work days, clean and confident. Date nights, warm and intimate. Errands, light and fresh. But I'm not buying $100 plus bottles just to experiment. And that's why I use Scentbird. You get a 30-day supply of designer fragrances, not samples, and a super portable case. Less than $18 a month, and your first month is just $9. This month I got to rotate some goodies. The binaural snowbird. I got citrus, bergamot, warm amber, and this is my favorite everyday scent right here. Then there's Story Venezian, Legni Verde 1. We got green notes, vetiver and cedarwood, and Merit Retrospect. Love this one. Iris Violet and Musk, and Maison 21G Muguet, Lily of the Valley, and Fresh Florals. I keep one in my purse and one in my gym bag because it packs away and stores easily, and the little cases are so cute and easy to use. With my code BBBD2, you get 55% off your first month. Just $9. Free shipping and a free case. So go ahead and check out my link down below. And again, use that code BBBD2. High maintenance thinking with low maintenance living. Habit number 6. Antimicrobial strategy, because you can't out-perfume bacteria. If bacteria is thriving, fragrance will not save you. Bacteria loves warmth, moisture, friction, and even buildup. So I often remove those conditions deliberately. Antimicrobial washes, what they do is reset bacterial load. Witch hazel is amazing because it restores skin pH. And powder, even just the dusting powder, which I love by Burt's Bees, it controls moisture so bacteria can't multiply. This is an aggressive hygiene. It's environmental management. When bacteria never gains dominance, odor never has the chance to become loud. So make sure you're taking care of your body in ways that are necessary for you. My baseline is always how I smell naturally. And if I have to use things like my pH balance washes, or even like my Hyba Cleanse or my Dettol, Those things are amazing for helping to eliminate a lot of the odors and bacteria that might be hustling and rustling in places I don't want it, okay? Of course, we're not gonna wash inside our baby V with that, okay? But we're gonna wash around, we're gonna wash in those crevices and folds and areas where bacteria loves to lurk, sit, and multiply. Habit number 7, exfoliation. The difference between clean and effective. Y'all, dead skin is not neutral. It's sticky. It traps bacteria, sweat, deodorant, and even fragrance. That's why people always say stuff like, my deodorant stopped working. No, boo, it's trapped under buildup. Underarms need the occasional exfoliation, mainly because deodorant literally glues itself to our underarm skin. Legs and thighs also need exfoliation, and that's to reduce friction and ingrowns. And our scalp, that also needs a form of exfoliation and scrubbing, because buildup, it suffocates the follicles, and that in turn creates odor. So exfoliation really does help to improve product performance. So instead of you buying more products, the products you have already, okay, start working really well for you, because they can actually penetrate the hair shaft, your underarms, your legs, your moisture, everything. It also reduces odor recurrence, keeps skin smoother longer. And let me tell you, this is not extra. It's making your products worth the money. And something y'all know about me is I don't play about the coins, okay? Just because you got them don't mean you got to spend them all. I like to use everything that I have, every bottle that I have. And everybody here in my home will tell you, I don't play around about that. Now, y'all knew I was going to do this, but habit number 8 is clothes and linens. Fabric is a part of your body too. If your fabrics are dirty, you are not clean. Sweat bacteria loves to embed itself in bras. Ooh. Also, workout clothes, sheets, and towels. Ain't nothing worse than a funky towel that you feel like you just washed. No. Oh. Flashbacks. So I treat all fabrics like they touch my skin, because they do. Vinegar breaks down odor-causing bacteria. Weekly sheet washing, even if you're the only one sleeping in said sheets, that prevents recontamination. Bra rotation allows full drying. And damp clothes, they are a breeding ground. That's why I tell you all, when you get home from the gym, it's best to go ahead and take a shower. Don't sit around in those damn clothes. Allowing those fabrics to soak in that sweat and that moisture is really not good for you. Also, I line dry all of my workout clothes. So I just put them up in my laundry room and make sure that they dry after I wash. I do not dry them, because something I find is that sometimes that heat activates some things and can cause moisture to smell. Okay. And I just find that drying workout clothes in particular works much better for me, for odors and also for bacteria causing odors to be let free and set free. And this is another reason why people smell fine at home and not out in public, because their clothes are telling on them. Habit number 9, sleep hygiene. Stress sweat is different sweat, my friends. Poor sleep elevates cortisol. Cortisol changes sweat composition. So stress sweat, it smells sharper, it lingers longer, and it is so much harder to mask. And that's why someone can shower and still smell off after a stressful day. And I try to protect my sleep as much as I can, anywhere from 6 to 9 hours, because sleep helps to regulate our hormones, inflammation, our skin repair, and also our odor chemistry. When I sleep well, my skin clears, my face has the chance to depuff, and my sweat smells so much milder. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is maintenance. Habit number 10, scheduling. Structure, that's the real flex. This is the habit that makes everything else work. I don't rely on motivation anymore. It's real cute. You know, back when I was younger, talking about motivation, cute, got it, yeah. I rely on structure these days. If hygiene lives in your head, it's optional. If it lives on your calendar though, it's automatic. Scheduling removes decision fatigue, inconsistency, and even those guilt trips you put yourself on. Effortless women, we don't do less, right? We still doing a lot, but they decide once and then let the systems run. So if I know that my weekly check-ins with myself, my maintenance happens, I'm getting my nails done every 3 weeks. I also, every time I leave a service provider, so like when I get my hair done every 3 months, or if I get my nails done every 3 weeks, before I leave my service provider, I have a date on my calendar, because I'm more likely to stick with that than to have to make another call or figure out another date that works. These are the types of things that you can do that also save you money, okay? What I mean by that is when you're reactive and you're just running out getting stuff done because you got an event or something like that. Like I said, we're going to stay ready so we don't have to get ready, okay? If I've had my regular appointments, those actually save me money. Okay, because I'm not having to run to somebody every time I need something done. And that's the secret. So y'all, high maintenance hygiene isn't about being extra. It's about protecting your peace. You do the work before life gets loud. So drop down in the comments one more time so that I know my people are up in here. Y'all know I respond to as many comments as I possibly can. High maintenance on purpose. And let me know what you do that's high maintenance that keeps you low maintenance daily. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Dr. Nina signing out. Peace.